held the rank of lieutenant. A Norfolk Southern train caught fire in Black Mountain about 10:20 last night. The fire has been extinguished, but a hazmat team was called in to deal with a fuel spill. No one is reported injured. You're listening to NCN News.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
In less than 30 seconds, I know I can make you hungry. Ready? Here we go. Chicken breast, chicken wing, drumstick, pulled pork barbecue, potato salad, coleslaw, sweet iced tea. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Where am I going? I'm headed to Smithfield's.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
Cape Town, South Africa is on course to run out of water. The government has implemented strict water restriction measures. Residents are only allowed to use 13 gallons of water a day. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that the average American family uses more than 300 gallons of water per day. CBS News correspondent Deborah Pata is in Cape Town with more.
Ominously named Day Zero, April 21st is when the taps will be turned off. 3 years of successive drought have devastated the city's water supplies. The local government has brought in severe restrictions, forcing people to look for alternative supplies like this natural spring tapped for public use.
A star of the musical comedy Glee is dead.
Mark Solling's death is being confirmed by his attorney. The attorney did not specify the manner or place of his death. However, a law enforcement official in Los Angeles says it was an apparent suicide. The official says Solling's body was found hanging in a riverbed area of Los Angeles. Solling was 35 and is best known as Noah Puckerman on the TV musical comedy Glee. But lately, he was in the headlines for a much darker reason. He had pleaded guilty to federal charges of possessing child pornography. He was to be sentenced on his guilty plea in about a month. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
A lawsuit over a 2013 crash that killed 6 members of a North Carolina church and 2 others has been settled just before opening statements were to begin. The attorney for the 12 survivors of the crash and the estates of 5 victims, Brandon Peake, tells the Statesville Record and Landmark attorneys for Hancock Tire Company called him about 6 a.m. Tuesday and agreed to a private settlement. 2 North Carolina men who adopted a dog that had to be euthanized because of its injuries has been charged with animal cruelty. Keaton Alexander, Mosina Miller, and Joshua Ryan White of Wilmington adopted the dog.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Aaron Katursky in Washington.
This, in fact, is our new American moment,
where President Trump, in his first State of the Union address, summoned the kind of cooperation and compromise absent during his first year in office.
I call upon all of us to set aside our differences.
A president who has embraced Twitter as modern presidential delivered a traditional speech, gentler in tone, though similar in substance, as ABC's Karen Travers tells us from the White House.
President Trump did not outline any significant new policy proposals, but he did lay out several areas where he's hoping to bring Republicans and Democrats together. The biggest issue, immigration. The president with a pointed message to lawmakers about his legislative proposal, calling it
one where nobody gets everything they want, but where our country gets the critical reforms it needs and must have.
But Democrats did not seem to be buying what the president was selling. Most of them stayed seated during the speech, even as the president called for unity. Aaron?
Massachusetts Congressman Joe Kennedy delivered the Democratic response, accusing the president of setting up false choices.
The greatest, strongest, richest nation in the world should not have to leave anyone behind.
The president is behind closed doors today. Tomorrow, he huddles with Republicans in West Virginia as the next potential government shutdown lurks a week away. From Washington, I'm Aaron Katursky. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
We have now heard from another person of interest in last fall's massacre in Las Vegas.
Yes, I'm the guy that sold ammunition. to Stephen Paddock.
Douglas Haig in Arizona, his name mistakenly released. It wasn't blacked out in court documents. More victim statements on the way as Dr. Larry Nassar heads back to court in Michigan for more sentencing. Waymo, the sister company of Google that's focused on making self-driving cars, ordering thousands of vehicles with an eye on expanding its ride-hailing business. Dow futures are down 62 points. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in taxes? The government now has tax debt relief programs in place, and you have rights. Call tax representation today. Join satisfied clients like Victoria.
I owe the IRS $32,000. They accepted $300.
She saved $31,700. Leroy owed $21,000.
The IRS accepted $500, and I saved $20,500.
Results may vary, but tax representation can help you. Has the IRS threatened to freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, and garnish your wage? You don't have to fear the IRS any longer if you call tax representation. We are the industry experts with negotiating with the IRS, and one of the very few that has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. We'll contact the IRS the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call the tax representation hotline at 800-295-1046. Call 800-295-1046 today. That's 800-295-1046.
We now know what happened exactly and what caused that false missile alert that sent people in Hawaii into a panic.
What was initially described as a mistake caused by clicking on the wrong computer icon, it now turns out was a very deliberate action. Federal and state investigations have found the worker who triggered the alert did it on purpose, believing there was a real missile threat, not realizing a drill was underway. Brigadier General Bruce Oliveira says a worker who sent out the alert was confused and froze in the moment.
Employee 1 also had a history of confusing drill and real-world events.
That employee has now been fired, and the head of Hawaii's Emergency Management Office has resigned. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The flu continues to spread across the country. One of the latest to die from the virus, a 4-year-old from New Jersey. Dr. Hani Atala is chief of emergency medicine at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. He's got more on why this flu is just so dangerous.
For people who have a lot of chronic illnesses, for the very young, the very old, pregnant women, flu hits those people hard. So, you have to be careful. I think when you think about someone who's mid-aged and otherwise healthy, or young and otherwise healthy, they tolerate the flu very well.
Major pharmacies like Walgreens and CVS are now assuring customers they have plenty of the antiviral medication, Tamiflu. Ever feel like you and your best friend are in sync? Guess what? It turns out you are. Scientists say friends share similar brain waves. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and operated.
Well, a gorgeous day coming up across the area. If you get a chance to maybe duck out of work a little early without getting in trouble for it, this will be a good day to do that. Mostly sunny skies, high around 50. Then tonight, mostly clear and chilly, down into the low and mid-30s. Thursday becoming partly sunny, but breezy and mild with a high temperature up near 60. And then a cold front comes through Thursday night with some showers, and looks like it'll be blustery and much colder by Friday. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Greg. If I sound winded, I've just been out howling at the moon this morning. It's 20 degrees right now. Looks like it may be eclipsing a little bit. I'm not sure how much of that we're going to see, but it's a big, big full moon. But it's cold out there, so wrap up good. Highs around 51 today, wind gusting to 16 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, lows around 29 with the wind chill value as low as 24. Now looking toward the weekend, this when it gets a little bit iffy again. On Saturday, partly cloudy, highs around 43, wind chill values low as 20. Then Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of freezing rain. Lows around 28, 30% chance of that freezing rain. Then on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a chance of rain and or snow. Highs around 46, 60% chance. Then Sunday night, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. Wind chill value as low as 26. Monday, chance of rain and freezing rain with highs around 47. And then by next Tuesday, partly cloudy with highs around 47. So we got a crazy forecast these next few days. And in a little while, we'll just flip our coin and see what it lands on. Clear, cloudy, windy, cold, freezing rain, snow, or nothing at all. Good morning, everybody. 7 minutes after 7 o'clock here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. We're being kind to J.D. Shook today. He's the owner of over the Recliner Center along with Marie. He lives on Cooper's Gap Road, Rutherfordton. So happy birthday to J.D. Shook. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Bill Lattimore, age 88 of Rutherfordton, died yesterday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services for Bill Lattimore. Elaine Simmons Paget, age 81 of Mooresboro, died Monday at her residence. A private memorial service will be held for the family. And Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with those arrangements for Elaine Simmons Paget. Wayne D. McGinnis, age 75 of Forest City, died Sunday, January the 28th, at his residence. A memorial service will be conducted at 12 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Wayne D. McGinnis. Mr. Robert Jean Bob Waters, 83 of Bostic, died Saturday at Hospice House. The funeral will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service. Burial will follow in the Sandy Level Baptist Church Cemetery, and the visitation is set from 12:45 today until 1:45 this afternoon at the funeral home. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services is serving the family of Mr. Robert Jean Bob Waters. Amanda B. Waters, age 87 of Ellenboro, died Sunday at her residence. A memorial service will be conducted at 4 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Amanda B. Waters. Nanny Dills Reed, age 89 of Forest City, passed away Saturday, January the 27th. The graveside service will be conducted at 1 o'clock Thursday at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Service in charge of the arrangements for Nanny Dills Reed. Sonny Green, age 78 of Chase Drive, Forest City, died Monday at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Thursday at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church of Forest City. The family will receive friends from noon until 2 prior to the service at the church. A private family burial will follow in the Rutherford Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral Home has been entrusted with the arrangements for Sonny Green of Forest City. Mr. Ronnie Steve Jackson, 69 of Shelby, died Friday at the Charles George V. Medical Center Hospice. A graveside service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Thursday at the First Baptist Church of Bostic Cemetery. The Rutherford County Honor Guard will provide military rites. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Ronnie Steve Jackson.
They have more money, that their paychecks are bigger, that their 401ks are growing like gangbusters, that the economy is exploding, and that more people have jobs. Why? Because their cherished polls say so. Never once do they stop and think these are the same polls that predicted President Hillary Clinton would be delivering this State of the Union address instead of reading trashy political fiction at the Grammys. Republicans have yet to make the sale on the tax bill? No, Politico. Reality is making the sale. American businesses are selling the tax cuts with every bonus, every raise, benefits increase, and by repatriating billions of dollars back home into the U.S. economy. And not one single Democrat voted for it. They don't have fingerprints. They can't claim credit. So Politico, let's just see how much help the Democrats get from that in November. You want to see a big fat zero?
Hiring is important. People are what make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter makes it simple. One click sends your job ad to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. Their smart matching technology will instantly alert quality candidates about your job. That means you'll start getting great candidates with the right experience almost as soon as your job is posted. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Anything you want to say to old man winter?
Go away!
Relax and cuddle up to your radio. We'll keep you warm. Today's hits and yesterday's memories. Family-friendly AM 590 WCAB.
No silly giggling, no vulgar jokes. Always family-friendly programming. From AM 590 WCAB, Rutherfordton.
This is Gilbert. Listen to Gilbert Talks Taxes Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 right here on WCAB 590 AM because, as we all know, taxation with representation has not been such a good idea either.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. We'll get to the phone in just a few moments, call around the county to find out what's been happening in the past 24 hours. But let me remind you that it's a perfect time to do something about floors in your home. Floors, hardwood floors, carpet, floor coverings, whatever you happen to think you might want. Have questions about it? Go see the pros. Go see those folks who have been doing this for a long, long time, since 1993, as a matter of fact. Gerald and Lynn Toney set out to be the best they can be in the carpet and floor covering business. Above board in all transactions, they give an honest and fair deal. They brought their son Clayton into the business with the same work ethic. Work hard, treat people fair, sell good merchandise, and that's a success behind the Southern Carpet and Floor Covering in Forest City. If you're needing floors, needing floor covering, need carpet, talk with Southern Carpet, a long-lasting tradition of quality. You'll find them at 1512 West Main Street. Phone number is 245-0310. And you can also visit them on the World Wide Web at southerncarpet.net.
During his lifetime, William Breckenridge was a newspaper carrier, teamster, pageboy, laborer, telegraph messenger, soldier, train brakeman, storekeeper, law officer, prosecutor, tax collector, rancher, county supervisor, and author. Born in Wisconsin in 1846, at 14 he quit school to sell newspapers. At 16 he ran away from home and enlisted as a teamster for the Union side of the Civil War. Short time later, he drifted out to Colorado and served as a page for the Colorado legislature. Then he joined the Colorado Cavalry, serving under Shevington during the massacre of Black Kettle's Camp. Over the next 15 years, Billy roamed from Colorado to Montana and Arizona. For a short time, he was deputy sheriff in Phoenix. Then he resigned to move to Tombstone and become a deputy sheriff for John Behan. Although his prime job was that of a tax collector, it didn't keep him away from gunplay. In May of 1881, he had a confrontation with Curly Bill Brocious that ended up in his shooting Curly Bill. After that incident, they say Curly Bill left Arizona. As a deputy for Sheriff Behan, Billy was on the side opposite that of the Earps. But at the same time, he didn't encourage an overt conflict with them. After the OK Corral shootout, Billy resigned as deputy sheriff and spent the rest of his life in southern Arizona, changing occupations on a regular basis. Finally, in 1928, he wrote a book entitled El Dorado. For 3 years, he enjoyed the fame it brought him. And finally, on January 31, 1931, at the age of 85, he died in Tucson, Arizona. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Well, we're going to the phones now to find out what's been happening overnight, and we're stopping first at the Sheriff's Department. And Deputy Butron is on the phone with you right now to give us that update. Good morning. How you doing?
Good, sir. How you doing?
Doing fine, thanks. Tell us what's been going on.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 148 calls for service. The jail's processed 5 arrests, and there's currently 184 detainees in the jail. For arrest reports, Robin Brian Frady was served a warrant for harboring a fugitive. Ronnie Lee Fortner was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Cody Wayne Queen was served with a warrant for larceny of a motor vehicle. J. William Hamrick was served with a warrant for injury to real property. Jeremy Scott Coffey was served with a criminal summons for show cause order and a failure to comply. Christopher Dale Toney was charged or served with a criminal summons for deliver and accept a blank or open title. Anita Catrice Ratliff was served with a criminal summons for a show cause order. For incident reports, Frances Lorraine Duncan reported a break and entering of a motor vehicle and a larceny after. Joseph L. Yelton reported a financial card fraud. And that's all we've got.
David Butron, we do appreciate it, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll check with 911, the Communications Center, right after this.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325. Lindsay is up next with the Communications Center there in Rutherford. Lindsay, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Tell us what's been happening in your department.
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 409 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 40 EMS, 17 rescue under law enforcement, 148 Sheriff's Office, 76 Forest City, 4 Lake Lure, 19 Rutherfordton, 70 Spindale. Under fire calls, Bostic had a motor vehicle accident, and Sandy Mush had a motor vehicle accident, and that is all.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Here's Ruby. Excuse me. Here's Ruby Taylor this morning with a report from Danieltown, the SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everything's going well with you.
It is.
Good. What's on the report?
The fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar, I've got Mike Webb and Virginia Fulton having a birthday, and that's all I've got. on the birthdays. Hope we have a nice day, and the signs are in the boughs today and going to the boughs tomorrow. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Ruby. Enjoy your Wednesday.
You too.
Bye-bye. Daniel sound nice and quiet this morning. The Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce held their annual Chamber Night activities last night at the Foundation, the Performing Arts Center. Good crowd showed up for that dinner last night, and a series of speakers, a panel of speakers talking about honoring our past, engaging our present, and building our future. Terry Fountain, owner of Fountain Electric, Shelley Greff, owner of Copper Penny, Steve Garrison, the county manager, and Walter Dalton, president of the Bison-Thermal Community College, sat on the panel, talked about those things, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going in the county. One of the highlights of the evening was Craig DeBrew, district manager for Duke Energy. He presented the Citizenship and Service Award to an outstanding individual who have done so much to help others. And the recipient of that award last night went to Terry Hageman, the director of the Grace of God Rescue Mission. Well-deserved honor given to Terry Hageman last night in his efforts to help people who have been down on their luck and help them get back up on their feet again. Congratulations to Terry Hageman. And Steve standing by up in Rumbling Ball, beautiful community, to give us a report. Hi, Steve.
Good morning, Jim. It is somewhat beautiful. We saw the beautiful blood red moon this morning, and it really went behind the mountain before we got a good look at the activities of the eclipse. But
yeah, ours sort of got away from us, but we did see the beautiful color, though.
yeah, it was very. Did you watch the speech last night?
I did.
Yeah, it was a very long one, but it was well delivered. So
well, if had to been so many applause lines in there, he could probably finish that in 30 minutes.
yeah, or so many visitors. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. But it was a good speech, I thought.
Yeah, it was well delivered, and yeah. So
we'll see how many critics there are today criticizing and condemning it.
yeah, we'll hear a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that happened during it, so we'll get a lot of feedback, I'm sure, including the hot mic issue.
Yeah.
It's 26 degrees here now. At my place, it was 21 degrees just up the road. This lake does have a moderating effect on extreme temperatures, so I think that's why the difference here. But it's still real cold. It feels real cold. So I can say that for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to stand outside too long without some coverage.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I'm going to huddle around this heater inside here. Normally I take a walk in the mornings, but I bypassed that this morning and started on the coffee right as I walked in the door. but anyway, we're middle of the week here and last day of January. So, but I guess Mother Nature's reminding us that we're still in January today.
That's right.
Cold weather. Overall, it's been pretty quiet. Last 24 hours, no more issues. We talked about the chimney fire yesterday. That we were able to say that. But no more issues in regards to just any. Could be any kind of issue this time of year.
Sure.
Yeah. So as far as I know, all is well.
Hey, I missed the hot mic issue. What was that?
He was talking to one of the congressmen. He says, "I'm definitely going to release the memo."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure that's how he put it, but that's the definitely sure. What the
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to release that memo. So I guess it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't want to do it before the speech or the day off, so a couple of days. I suspect he'll release those, and he should.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's.
We got to clean up that mess up there.
Exactly, and it's going to come out anyway in the Inspector General report in a month or so. So might as well just go ahead and get a taste of it.
Well, listen. Well, you have a great day up there. Stay warm and keep your fingers warm, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I will, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you. 26 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday hump day morning, and we'll get back to the next phone call up to Hudlow in just a moment. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. All right, let's see what Bob Hodge is up to this morning up in the Hudlow community, where it's nice and warm up there, Bob. Is that right or no?
Well, it's cold as a well digger's feet up here this morning.
I think that's true all around here, everywhere.
Yeah, but maybe it'll warm up there about dinner time some there. So, but this is the last day of January, so February's coming in. Won't be long. Maybe we'll get an early spring. Old groundhog won't see a shatter there.
That's coming up pretty soon, isn't it?
What is it? Friday.
I believe it is, yeah.
Friday's Groundhog Day there, yeah. So maybe he won't see a shatter there, so we'll get early spring.
Well, according to my report so far, mostly sunny Friday, so maybe he'll see a shadow.
Well, maybe he won't there. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, me too.
We've had a long, I'm thinking like it's been awful cold this winter there. I guess because it's been cold for long periods of time. You know, we've used to cold weather and then warm up the next day, but this winter we've had long cold spells. So
we have, yeah.
So I know people power bill just about, some of them about double there. So stuff during these winter months here. And I've been watching that big blue moon there. Wasn't it pretty during the night there?
It was beautiful. Absolutely was. Don't get to see that very often. It'll be a long time before that happens again.
Yeah, it'll be a long time before we have two full moons in 1 month there. And then we had eclipse on top of that, didn't we? By the time it went down this morning, so.
Yep. It's be more obvious other parts of the nation than it was here, but we did get to see the early stages of it before it went down behind the horizon.
Supposed to turn red looking. And Jim, up there with the fire department, we answered one medical call during the night, had no fire wreck calls, so that's good. And looked like we're going to have a little sunshine today there, and maybe a warm up after a while. And Lord, they're talking about snow again towards the end of the week, but maybe they'll miss it. Maybe it'll stay up in the mountains like the other there. So
yeah,
that'd be nice there.
All we can do is wish, right?
That's right. But Jim, you take care and have a good day, and I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Bob, I appreciate it. Have a great day up there.
All right.
Bye. That's the Hudlow reporter, Bob Hodge. It's 29 now, past 7 o'clock. Boy, wouldn't a good hot cup of coffee be good right about now if you got in your cold car and you're trying to warm up? Stop in the drop-in food store and try their S&D coffee. Fresh and hot S&D 12-ounce coffee for only 99 cents. You can't beat it. If you're a little bit hungry, too, try that bologna biscuit for only 99 cents. Then do some more shopping. 15-pack of Coke, 12-ounce cans, only $3.99. 18-pack of Pepsi, $4.99. 2-liter Pepsi, 3 for $3. And don't forget the For Real milkshake sometime today. 16-ounce, $2.99. And you can visit Major Lee's Delis for hot wings. And they're taking orders now for hot wings for the Super Bowl. If you want to get yours, get those ordered pretty soon. You know, they sell about 23,000 of those a month. That speaks well of the kind of hot wings they are, right? Pizzas are $9.99. Choose one or all 10 toppings at no additional charge. Also, hot dogs, delicious, hamburgers, egg rolls, potato wedges, honey mustard or ranch chicken wraps, chicken strips, regular or spicy. You can choose from many different dinner options only at the drop-in food stores. All fresh, never frozen. The Drop-In is your hometown convenience store since 1981. Come on. Drop in.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Loop Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
Cherry Mountain is our next stop, and that's where we find Sue Price with the morning report. Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
Warming up over there, or could you use a little more heat?
We're warm inside.
Good.
I got 19 outside. That's cold. I was looking at my calendar. The first day of January, I started off at 19, and I'm ending it with 19. So we had a lot of cold days in between, too. I saw my coldest day was on the 5th. I had 7 degrees. So
wow.
It's been a cold month. And maybe some more snow coming. I hope it gets it out of its system. Go ahead and do it all before Valentine's Day. That's always a scary day for the florist.
Yeah. I hope winter gets it out of its system before springtime, before Easter. Get it behind us and move on.
That's right. Anyway, we take what comes. Got no calls from the fire department. No birthdays on my calendar for today. Fairview's got a birthday for Charlie Dawson, so I hope he'll have a good day, and nothing on First Broad, so not too many celebrating. But we hope anybody that is will have a good day. And in my announcements, there will be a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, at the Lincoln Center in Bostic. They'll have refreshments, cupcakes will be served, and then they'll have a hill tour leaving at 2 o'clock. So if you're interested in seeing the birthplace, come on out and join that tour. Hopefully it'll be pretty weather for it. And so far, that's the only announcement I've had, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. You too, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, I just saw George a moment ago open that gate across the road, so he's ready and able to serve you this morning if you want to stop on by there. And they've got a lot of things you might be looking for, particularly with the propane gas tanks. They got big propane grill tanks over there, 20 pounds. You can get 20 pounds for only $10.99. They have all kinds for whatever size tank you might have. Also, you might check on their prices for dog food. Can't hardly beat it. Generic dog food, 40 pounds for $11.99. They also carry some of the Neutrina laying pellets, $10.50 for a 50-pound bag. Wrangler Sweet Feed, $7.49 for a 50-pound bag. Plus, they've got a lot of things. If you don't have your sled yet, we don't know when the snow next one may come, but they've got a good selection of snow sleds starting at $8.99. That's Farmer's Friend, Feed, Seed, and Supplies, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. They're open from 7:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 2 on Saturday.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Let's check in now up at Union Mills and get to Kelly report from Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I believe we dialed the wrong number. This doesn't sound like Brenda. Is this Brenda Kelly?
Yes, I don't feel like Brenda either.
You're not having a relapse, are you?
I hope not. I'm going to call here in a little while and see if I can get back in to see the doctor again. Something's got to be done. I'm going to die if I don't get better.
Well, I hope that's not the case.
Well, I hope not either, but whatever, it's just terrible. Sue was talking about her temperature on the 1st was 19, mine was 16, and I've got 16 on the front porch this morning, so I thought that was sort of weird.
pretty consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, but that moon was pretty, wasn't it?
Beautiful moon. I wish I could have made some pictures of it, but I didn't have
I know it, yeah. Maybe somebody did. But my Tar Heels aren't doing good, are they?
What happened to those boys last night?
I don't know. I didn't watch it because I was sick and I went back to bed. I went to bed. I just...
That's why they lost.
I don't know. I was having chills and couldn't get warm, and I turned my blanket on. And
That's why they lost, because you turned your back on them.
Well, I didn't turn my back on them. I just couldn't sit up and watch it. But anyway, we hope everybody's having a good day. Birthdays today, I've got Catherine Mae Pritchard and Leah Williamson. I don't have anything on around here, so we hope these people have a great old big day. And I hope J.D. Shook has a great old big day. I believe that's who you're being kind to.
It is, yeah. Good fella.
Yeah. White House Community Center on Painter Staff Road in Union Mills on Saturday, February the 17th, is going to have an auction. Doors open at 4 p.m. Auction starts at 6. Kitchen opens at 4 p.m. Barbecue plate, baked beans, slaw, and that'll be $5. And you can call 828-625-4502 or 828-545-7161 for more details. That's all I got going on this morning that I know of.
Well, Brenda, you get well up there. I'm concerned about you not feeling good.
Well, I'm concerned too. I'm going to try to get back in with the doctor and see if they might give me another run of antibiotics or tell me to go by and make an appointment with Crow's Mortuary or something.
You get that out of your mind.
Well, I've been sick for 4 weeks.
Yeah, you're going to be around a long time yet to come.
I hope so.
Yeah. Maybe, will the shots help any at all, or is it just antibiotics you're putting you on?
I don't know. I was on a Z-Pack, and I finished it, and then they gave me that cough syrup, and I had an allergic reaction to it, and I think that's really what hurt me more than anything. I was doing good till I decided to take that cough syrup. And then they give me. I went back to the doctor, and they give me them little tussle and pearls cough things, and you have to have a prescription for them. And I took them, and I broke out, so I quit taking them. So day before yesterday, I thought, well, I'm going to start them back. Maybe they'll. I wasn't coughing much, just a little bit, and I still just a little bit congested, but not much. Well, I started taking them by last night. I was sneezing and so congested, and I'm just wondering if I might be allergic to them.
Maybe you need 2 or 3 good doses of that Golden Valley medicine.
Oh, well, maybe I do. Just drink it all and get in the bed and not worry about nothing.
And sweat it out.
There you go. You're crazy, Jim.
But I have fun.
Yeah, I do too.
Listen, you get better, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow.
Okay, have a good one. Catch you later.
If you need us, call us.
Okay, I will.
Right, bye-bye.
Okay.
7:39 here this Wednesday morning. Brenda Kelly under the weather again a little bit. Well, I want to thank you for your dependence on them. They are ready to serve you in 2018. Hutchins Pest Control. They just, again, won Best Pest Control 8 years in a row for them now. Hutchins Pest Control, honest, dependable, and on-time service. Those are the qualities that you look for. And when you got your name on the business, you better do it right. And they've been doing it right now for a long time. Why don't you call Hutchins Pest Control if you have a pest problem or you want to stop it before it becomes a problem? They can handle all that stuff. You don't need to worry about it. Just call them and get out of the way, and they'll take care of it. And they know what they're doing. Hutchins Pest Control. Here's the phone number, 287-5171. That's 287-5171. And they'll serve you here. They'll serve you in South Carolina. If you're listening, those of you listening down around Chesnee and Gaffney area, they'll serve you there as well. So call them, Hutchins Pest Control. Honest, dependable, and on time.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
And happy birthday to J.D. Shook over at the Recliner Center this morning. He's our Be Kind To recipient. Now let's head toward Ellenboro. Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning, you two. We're just trying to stay warm down here.
Well, that's a hard job to do this morning unless you're inside around a fire.
Yeah, that's where to be, around the heater. Backed up to the fireplace.
You ever sat around one of those old pot-bellied stove with a bunch of guys and spit tobacco juice over it and listen to it? Psst. You ever do any of that when you were...
Yep. Daddy used to get up, start the heater, and start the fire in the old tin heater.
Yeah.
Put dirt at the bottom of it, put the wood in it.
Yeah.
That thing would turn cherry red. I'd grab my clothes from the bedroom and run into the living room and put them on.
Yeah.
We were warm. It was cold in the bedroom.
Yes, sir, brother.
So we didn't have no heat at night. Had to pump outdoors. That was a long time ago.
Thank goodness
Things are better now.
Thank goodness we've come
I
beyond
got the pump
that.
in the house now. Sir?
Thank goodness we've come beyond that now, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. We get better now. It's a good day there. It's going to be a good day. It's quiet. It's more nothing going on. Well, I had two college routes. I had one medical call this morning and one tree down this morning, early this morning after 5 o'clock. But all in all, I had 4 medical calls. That was a tree down. So they're sitting back enjoying a cup of coffee now. And she said, well, we said birthday today. Charles Allen, she's having one. And Jacob Cannon is having one. So hope they have a great day and they enjoy their day. And nothing else going on there. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Have a great day, and I'll see you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Well, on a cool day like this, or any day actually, but especially on a cold day like this, it's not going to be too warm at lunchtime. You can go to Gregory's, have a good hot bowl of soup. He always keeps a good fresh bowl of soup over there for you. And get some of those, as we used to call them, those sody crackers, or maybe some of those Captain's wafers, and put with your soup. They'll bring a big bowl out to you, and maybe top it off with a grilled cheese sandwich, or maybe top it off with a salad or something else from the menu. But whatever, the soup's going to be good. It's going to taste good on a day like this at Gregory's. And if you're planning something big coming up, from simple to elaborate, Gregory's can deliver an elegant table fit for a king or queen. Call Gregory's at 287-2171. That's 287-2171. You'll like doing business. And to order Gregory's wings for the Super Bowl, they must be ordered and picked up on Saturday, February the 3rd. So keep that in mind if you're interested in that. That's by February 3rd. It must be ordered and picked up on Saturday the 3rd. It's time for birthdays and anniversaries now to call in for this last day of January, January 31st. If you are one of those folks that were born on this date, were married on this date, now is the time to celebrate with the whole wide thousands of people that are listening this morning. 287-3356, and we'll put you in the drawing for delicious donuts from Granny B's. Daylight Donuts can be yours if you're the winner. Call now, 287-3356. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. If you're at that point in your life where your hearing is becoming impaired, or you don't have to be in a senior citizens to have hearing loss. Teenagers can have that due to loud music going into the ears all the time. Industrial noise can also affect it. But whatever the reason, it's not something that you have to live with when Miracle Ear is so close by. If you'll talk with Lisa Terry about that free hearing test and get moving in that direction, and you'll find out that their years of service, there's no better respected or well-known brand than Miracle-Ear. With an A-plus rating from the BBB and a worldwide reputation and an American-made product, Miracle-Ear is who you should see. Lisa Terry. Miracle-Ear Center, 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102 in Forest City, and over in Shelby, it's on East Dixon Boulevard, 1506-2 East Dixon Boulevard. But either way, look for the Miracle from Miracle-Ear.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to JD. JD Shook over at the Recliner Center at Cooper's Gap Road. He's celebrating today. Want to wish him a happy and congratulations. He's now the newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame. Old buddy Roland Airwood turns 90 today. Wish Roland a happy birthday. Sarah Logan, she works over in the East High School cafeteria. She's also celebrating a birthday today. Fixing all that good food up over there. Alistair Clements, student at Rutherfordton Elementary, celebrating. Maddox Connor, birthday was yesterday. He's a student at Thomas Jefferson. Laurie Campbell is 40 today, lives over in Spindale. Paulette Littlejohn is 48 over in Ellenboro. Beatrice Hoyle, 91, up in beautiful Sunshine. Gary Bright over in Spindale, and Waylon Searcy, 4 over in Union Mills, want to celebrate their birthday. And Catherine May Pritchard and Leah Williamson. So happy birthday, everybody. We'll have a drawing in just a few moments, see who's going to win those Daylight Donuts. Stand by.
Oleg, a German missionary, was sailing on a ship from America to Japan. She struck up a conversation with the captain of the ship, who shared her religious interests and convictions. She inquired as to how he had come to have so much faith and trust. He related how years before he had invited his wife and his 8-year-old daughter to go on one of the voyages. Just as now, it was a very stormy trip. In fact, things got so bad on that crossing that he had given orders for all hands to be on deck and had already lowered the lifeboats. The last thing he did was to waken his little daughter. Everyone was already on deck, but she was still in the cabin and asleep. Her mother woke her and said, "Get up quickly. There is a storm and the boat is in danger of sinking." The little one looked at her mother and said, "Mommy, is Daddy at the helm?" She was told he was. She replied, "Then everything will be all right." And with that, she turned over and fell asleep again. As the father considered his daughter's response, he wondered why he couldn't trust his Heavenly Father like that. Why did he have to fret and stew and worry about the eventual outcome of the storms of life? If God was at the helm, then everything would be all right. Today, why not picture laying all of your burdens, your fears, and your worries at the feet of your Heavenly Father, and then trust Him? This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And a big congratulations going out to Paulette Littlejohn of Ellenboro. Paulette turns 48 today, and she has just won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Congratulations, Paulette. We'll have that certificate over here. Stop by here first and then take it over to Granny B's. You've been hearing from the national accusers. Now you can hear from those being accused, those who are there. No one is reporting their side of the story. Now you can hear that other side. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings right here in WCAB Studios. At 8:30, you can hear members of the Word of Faith Fellowship tell their side of the story. It's an ongoing series paid for by Word of Faith Fellowship, and you're invited to listen and hear what they have to say about their accusers and the accusations being made about them. Only time they've stepped forward to refute those stories, and you'll hear it first right here. 8:30 this morning on WCAB.
I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Trump used his primetime State of the Union address last night to warn of a nuclear threat from North Korea as fears now grow in Washington that conflict may be looming. In his speech to Congress and the nation, Mr. Trump said North Korea's pursuit of nuclear missiles could soon threaten the homeland.
Around the world, we face rogue regimes, terrorist groups, and rivals like China and Russia that challenge our interests, our economy, and our values.
President Trump used personal stories to sell his agenda on issues ranging from immigration and the opioid epidemic. Political strategist Greg Valere says his State of the Union can be put in the win column for President Trump. He thinks Mr. Trump's tamer tone and message hit the mark.
The tone of Trump's speech was really important. He seemingly is amping it down a bit
acting a little bit more conciliatory. Whether he resumes tweeting remains to be seen, but last night was probably a constructive speech for him.
Republican Senator Tom Tillis issued a video response to President Trump's speech, and the junior senator from North Carolina said he was encouraged to hear the president challenge Congress to fix immigration, a problem that's existed for decades.
Under the president's leadership, I believe we're getting closer every day to reaching a deal. It's time for Congress to take up the president's challenge. We must come together in a bipartisan fashion and finally pass a responsible, compassionate bill.
A man was shot to death on Tuesday in a Durham parking lot. Daryl Marquise Harper has been identified as the victim. No arrests have been made. A former sheriff's deputy in the mountains of North Carolina is suing the Henderson County sheriff, who he says discriminated against him for his disability and military background and wrongfully terminated him. Jeffrey Turner filed the lawsuit. You're listening to NCN News.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. So here's a 26-second message of encouragement.
Hi, I'm Stacy. Look, I've been there. It's tough. And I just want to say, if you find yourself feeling negative, use it as motivation. Let it be like the fuel in the fire to keep you going. Because the best is yet to come. Seriously, you're capable of great things. Things you probably haven't even dreamed of yet. So don't quit now. See you at graduation.
Do you have 26 seconds to convince a student to stay at their desk? Now you can share your message of support at boostup.org. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
A North Carolina man who was exonerated after serving nearly 4 years in prison on a rape conviction has received a financial settlement from the state. The Rocky Mount Telegram reports that the North Carolina Industrial Commission awarded 47-year-old Noli Brown statutory damages during a hearing on Monday. A former TV sitcom star is the latest to be accused of sexual misconduct.
Remember Charles in Charge that starred Scott Baio? Well, one of his co-stars says Baio sexually abused her for years, starting when she was just 14. Nicole Eggert makes the charge on Megyn Kelly's portion of the Today Show on NBC. Eggert says Baio first molested her when she was 14, and they had intercourse when she was 17, 1 year under the age of consent in California. Baio did not respond to the charges after they were made again on TV, but in a previous Facebook video, he says he is being falsely accused. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
People can give written comments to a special committee assigned to make recommendations on a proposal to move 3 Confederate monuments on North Carolina's Capitol grounds to a Civil War battlefield. The State Department of Natural and Cultural Resources this week announced a web portal to send information and opinions to a 5-member panel. Killer whales have been trained to perform, but now scientists say they can mimic human speech.
Hello? Waiki the killer whale lives in a French marine park. She'd already been trained to copy behaviors. Now, researcher Joseph Kahl says she's become the first of her species to imitate human speech.
That she can copy the vocalizations of another species, in this case us, it shows a remarkable degree of flexibility.
1, 2. Now, there's a lot more to language than imitation, so it's not clear if this experiment means humans will one day be able to converse with killer whales. Bye-bye. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump in his first State of the Union address touting his record since taking the oath of office.
Each day since, we have gone forward with a clear vision and a righteous mission to make America great again for all Americans.
ABC's Mary Alice Parks has been taking a look at several of the president's statements, including this one.
In recent weeks, 2 terrorist attacks in New York were made possible by the visa lottery and chain migration. In the age of terrorism, these programs present risks we can just no longer afford.
That was mostly spin. The two men involved in those attacks did come to the country legally through those programs, but seem to have been radicalized here in the U.S. years after they arrived.
The White House still holding on to that declassified memo from the House Intelligence Committee that is said to show FBI surveillance of the Trump campaign. Here's ABC News Chief Law and Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
ABC News learning that the FBI Director and Deputy Attorney General were both at the White House, pleading with the White House Chief of Staff John Kelly to prevent the release of the Republican House Intelligence Report before they had a chance to make sure it does not compromise classified information. Those pleas apparently ignored as the president's mind appeared made up at the State of the Union. But for now, the memo is still waiting to be reviewed by White House lawyers.
That's ABC's Pierre Thomas. Another day in court for the former doctor convicted of molesting young gymnast, Dr. Larry Nasser, facing sentencing on 3 more sexual assault charges, and the judge has set aside several days to hear from victims. Apple reportedly facing new investigations over software used in those slowed-down old iPhones. The Justice Department and the SEC are now both looking into it. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC to find accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
The major American stock indexes have seen a significant slide this week, the Dow experiencing the biggest two-day drop since 2016. ABC News Chief Business and Economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis on what's behind it.
Amazon teaming up with J.P. Morgan and Berkshire Hathaway had a major impact, especially on healthcare companies and on insurance providers, because these companies, Amazon leading the way, are teaming up to create their own independent healthcare company. And whenever Amazon introduces itself getting into a new category, there's a lot of fear in the market of what that could do to the pre-existing companies. We saw it in the book space when Amazon got in there and crushed the competition. There's always going to be that fear they'll do it again.
With this year's deadly flu epidemic, the antiviral drug Tamiflu is in high demand.
Doctors are being selective as they write prescriptions for Tamiflu. Hattie Atala is Chief of Emergency Medicine at Atlanta's Grady Memorial Hospital.
We are limiting it to treatment of the very young, the very old, and those who have some severe chronic medical conditions, as well as pregnant patients. If we're admitting them to the hospital and we diagnose them with flu, they're getting Tamiflu.
But Atala says do what you can to avoid exposure.
Prevention is the key to trying to keep yourself healthy if at all possible. So stay away from sick folks, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, things like that.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
New warning about opioids found in a common over-the-counter medication. The FDA now trying to crack down on the abuse of anti-diarrhea drugs like Imodium. It does contain a small amount of an opioid. This is ABC News.
Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in taxes? The government now has tax debt relief programs in place, and you have rights. Call tax representation today. Has the IRS threatened to freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, and garnish your wage? We are the industry experts with negotiating with the IRS, and one of the very few that has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. We'll contact the IRS the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call 800-295-1036. That's 800-295-1036.
You're really missing out if you haven't tried the delicious food at Jesse James Railroad Express. Check out the burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken and tuna salad plates, and of course, delicious Davis donuts and hand-dipped ice cream. They offer a terrific breakfast with made-to-order fresh just for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Call out orders at 447-4644. Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Railroad Express has received an award for the best coffee shop and the best hamburgers and hot dogs. And mention this ad and get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents, Mondays only.
It is a good place for a good meal. Go see them at Railroad Express. Tell Jesse James I said hello.
Well, a gorgeous day coming up across the area. If you get a chance to maybe duck out of work a little early without getting in trouble for it, this will be a good day to do that. Mostly sunny skies, high around 50. Then tonight, mostly clear and chilly, down into the low and mid-30s. Thursday becoming partly sunny, but breezy and mild with a high temperature up near 60. And then a cold front comes through Thursday night with some showers, and looks like it'll be blustery and much colder by Friday. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
Well, I don't know where you'd go on a day like this. You can't go swimming, for sure. It's too cold to go swimming. I don't want to sit on the riverbank fishing. So I guess I'll just stay at work today. 21 degrees right now, warming up to 51. Sunny skies. We do have a wind gust today, about 16 miles per hour. And the iffy part comes to us toward the weekend again. We're still flipping our coin to see which one is going to land on. And Saturday night, chance of freezing rain, lows around 28. Sunday, chance of rain and or snow, about a 60% chance of that happening. And then Sunday night, of course, there's a 50-50 chance of scattered showers. Freezing rain expected Monday morning, February the 5th, with highs getting up to about 47 with a 20% chance. So they're still guessing on this, so don't get excited. But if you want to go ahead and maybe buy a half a loaf of bread and half a gallon of milk, maybe right now. But we'll see we'll keep watching that storm for you and pass it on to you if you'll stay tuned right here to the Mighty 590, AM 590 WCAB. And we're also on Northland Cable Channel 5. Those of you who listen to us on Channel 5 didn't know how many of you there are listening on Channel 5 until we weren't on the other day. Then we found out, and I thank you for listening on Channel 5, and thanks for letting us know when we're not there, because it's hard to keep gauge of that. And some of you are watching on the World Wide Web. We have noticed that here lately as well. So thank you. We'd like to hear from you. If you listen and watch on the World Wide Web, just give us a buzz or send us an email or something and let us know. 20 minutes away from right now, we'll be on the air live with the Word of Faith Fellowship and their program. They're denying the facts of the accusations of them in the newspaper. The Associated Press been writing some really nasty stuff about them for a long time. And so they're facing up to those and talking to you about the real facts about the Word of Faith Fellowship, and you get firsthand knowledge listening to it each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Congratulations to Paulette Littlejohn of Ellenboro. She won the Daylight Donuts this morning from Granny B's. And J.D. Shook's our Be Kind To person. He's the owner of the Recliner Center over in Cooper's Gap Road, Rutherford. He's the newest member of the Be Kind To Hall of Fame. Now, see, on the board over there, we have a lot of open dates for the Be Kind To, including tomorrow. And we have Saturday open, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, virtually the whole month of February is open. Only about 3 days left. Only 3 days filled. So if you have a birthday or anniversary in February, just call Lou and she'll be glad to tag those dates for you. And we'll be nice to you all day. 9 minutes after 8, we've got some stories from here and there coming up in just a moment.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street Team.
Hey, IRS, is the fire we had in our kitchen a deductible loss?
I'll tell you after this.
New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes, and the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS, guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City, or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Losses in property value from unexpected events like hurricanes, fires, and floods are deductible. Even losses due to theft can qualify. Victims in federal disaster areas might even get a faster refund.
Questions? Go to irs.gov.
Hello, this is Brian King, and we've been proudly serving Rutherford County and its citizens for the past 20 years. Over those years, we've expanded to 12 different locations all across western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, and we're excited to be a part of the community. We really appreciate all the times that you've trusted our office over the years, and we want to make sure that you know that we're right here to serve you. Looking forward to see you at King Law Offices right here in Uptown Rutherfordton.
Thanks very much, Brian. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. By the way, you've got just a few more days to get your Valentine into us for the Be My Baby Weekend Valentine promotion. So get yours into us. Post Office Box 511. Mention your name and your sweetheart's name and your favorite love song, and we'll get some of those played during that time period and give away some really fabulous prizes for the grand prize plus some preliminary prize winners up to that date. And of course, the preliminary prize winners get to go back in the drawing for the grand prize. So if you'd like to be a part of that, be sure and call, get your card into us. If you want to hand carry it to us, that'll be fine as well. We've had some do that too. But our address is Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton, 28139. Now some stories from here and there this morning. Daily Courier is reporting that the winners of the Rutherford County Schools 2017-18 District Spelling Bees. First place winner was Emily Walters, second place winner Brianna Cochran, and third place winner was Kelly Clark. Congratulations, ladies. And many of you talked about this morning about the blue moon here. We saw some of that blue in that moon this morning and the eclipse, and it went down behind the horizon before we had a chance to see much of that. Isothermal Community College is showing growth in their enrollment. It's up, according to Dr. Dolly Horton. The fall 2016 ICC had 129 applicants for December graduation. In fall of 2017, they had 502 applicants. So the December graduation primarily celebrates students receiving certificates and diplomas. So congratulations to those who chose Isothermal Community College. Well, the bank building down there in Forest City, the one with the clock, two longtime friends stood in front of the former Farmers Bank and Trust Company building on the corner of Main Street and Cherry Mountain Street, talking and planning for a three-story for some renovations there and something new's coming there. So keep your eye on that, and we'll watch that growth as well. The Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce held their Chamber Night activities last night at the Performing Arts Center at 6 o'clock. Full house attended from various businesses around the area. Panel presentation with Terry Fountain of Fountain Electric, Shelley Greff of Copper Penny, and Steve Garrison of the county manager, Walter Dalton of Isothermal Community College, talked about Rutherford County and how they're contributing. Their businesses are helping honor the past, engage our present, and build the future. And we appreciate the input from them. Craig DeBrew, district manager for Duke Energy, came by and presented a Citizenship and Service Award for a person who makes a great contribution to our community. And the winner of that last night was Terry Hageman, the CEO of Grace of God Rescue Mission. So I was honored to see Terry Hageman receive that award, very deserving. All the work they do at the Grace of God, helping those folks who were down on their luck for a while and help them get back up on their feet again. Other news from around the area this morning, a man in Gaffney who appears to have been dead for months was found hanged in a wooded area in Gaffney. According to Dennis Fowler, the coroner, the body was discovered by a passerby near the intersection of Indian Hill and Lead Mine Streets around 8:15 on January the 30th. Fowler said clothing and other means will be used to try to identify the man. An autopsy is scheduled for today. Fowler said missing person files are being reviewed to help with the identification process. Always trouble to hear those kind of things taking place. Well, you remember the story, or perhaps you did or didn't hear the story from Easley, South Carolina, where they found a child wandering around. Well, police say a mother has been charged after her young daughter was found wandering in the streets of Easley. Tiana A. Gant, 23, has been charged with unlawful conduct toward the child, according to the captain there at the Easley Police Department, Captain Alex Greer. The 3-year-old girl is in custody of the South Carolina Department of Social Services. Police said the girl was found near Ross Avenue and Preston Street around 11:30 on Monday. Captain Greer said police could not get information from the child who wouldn't talk, not even to share her name. Officers assumed they would hear from the girl's parents or guardian, but after receiving no word, her photo was shared on social media. Police made contact with the mother about 5 hours after the girl was found. Captain Greer said the child was left unattended while the mother was at work. The case remains under investigation as of this morning. Isn't that terrible? It breaks my heart to hear that children are are brutalized. Children are left unattended. They're tied to a bedpost or hid in a basement. It just breaks my heart. Just breaks my heart. Well, there's still some scams out there. We like to give you a heads up on these. The Polk County Sheriff's Office has received a number of calls, as we have here in Rutherford County, reference to phone scams over the past couple of weeks. A number of the citizens have reported receiving calls from what appear to be local phone numbers. You may have gotten some of those. On caller ID, it looks like a local number. When the numbers are called back, they find that the person the number belonged to never called. What is actually happening is called spoofing. The person calling are able to hide their actual phone number and replace with a local number in the area they are calling. How they do that, I do not know. And why is that not legal? Illegal, I mean. It probably is. In the event you do return these calls, keep this in mind. The person whose number is being spoofed in these instances is being harassed much of the same as the person who initially received the call. The scammers are trying to increase the number of people they actually make contact with. The Polk County Sheriff's Office would like citizens to stay vigilant when dealing with the scammers. Please do not give out information concerning bank information or personal identification on to any caller. Do not do that over the telephone, please. In the event you feel the need to send money or wire the money, take the time to verify the receiver to eliminate becoming a victim of the scam. In an effort to increase awareness to this continuing growing problem, we encourage citizens to share with neighbors and friends the type of calls they're receiving involving the scam. It could help somebody else be more alert when that happens. We've talked with Sheriff Chris Francis on several occasions about the scams that are taking place here in our county. And that's just one of the ways I've gotten calls that had a local number and it wasn't a local number. Reporting new scams in the area is essential in fighting these types of crimes. The following are types of scams being reported at this time. So see if any of these are something you're faced with. Both telephone and on the internet. Ransomware. Opening an email that encrypts your files unless you pay to have it removed. You've seen those. Tax scams, calls stating that the IRS is filing a lawsuit against you. Car warranty expired. Calls telling you that your warranty has expired and you need to purchase extended warranty. I get that in the mail all the time. Lottery scams, emails, or calls reporting you have won a prize and need to pay the fee to collect prize. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you win a lottery prize, you don't have to pay a fee to get it. You won it. Don't fall for that. Fake checks. Sellers are receiving fake checks and discovering after cashing that the checks were fake. In an effort to increase awareness to this continuing growing problem, we encourage everyone to share with neighbors and friends the type of calls you're receiving involving scams. Call the local sheriff's department as well, or the police departments. Tell your neighbors the kind of scams you're getting so they can be more alert. Just be aware of the fact that they are out there to scam you and me every day. I get those email scams every day. You got this virus, but we can fix that for you. Or you get these phone calls, or you've won a prize, and we can send that to you. I just ignore it. If I don't recognize a number, and by the way, if you ever call my house and I answer the phone, if you don't say something real quick, I'm going to hang up. Because it's one of those robocalls, because they're waiting to see the light flash on the computer, and then they jump in there. So if you call my house and I answer it, you need to say, hello, Jim, or I'm calling for Jim, or something, because if you hesitate more than one or two beats, I'm gone. Because I know it's a robocall. Anyway, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Shop Jay's Discount Grocery for your grocery needs and save big money. Incredible savings on everything in the store. Famous name brands arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. Fresh fruits and vegetables on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Jay's has delicious steaks, pork chops, roast, cut fresh daily. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. EBT and debit cards are welcome. And don't forget to check out Jay's on Facebook for daily specials. Located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City behind the Hospice Resale Shop. Call 828-382-0457. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. 22 past 8 o'clock. Here now is Deputy Butron with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department with the report we aired earlier, recorded it for broadcast at this time. Deputy Butron.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 148 calls for service. The jail's processed 5 arrests, and there's currently 184 detainees in the jail. For arrest reports, Robin Brian Frady was served a warrant for harboring a fugitive. Ronnie Lee Fortner was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Cody Wayne Queen was served with a warrant for larceny of a motor vehicle. J. William Hamrick was served with a warrant for injury to real property. Jeremy Scott Coffey was served with a criminal summons for show cause order and a failure to comply. Christopher Dale Toney was charged or served with a criminal summons for deliver and accept a blank or open title. Anita Catrice Ratliff was served with a criminal summons for a show cause order. For incident reports, Frances Lorraine Duncan reported a break and entering of a motor vehicle and a larceny after. Joseph L. Yelton reported a financial card fraud. And that's all we've got.
This is Pam with the Home Medical Department at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. We carry several products for CPAP therapy that includes wipes, distilled gallons of water, a CPAP hose cleaning tool, a CPAP pillow, and of course the regular supplies of masks, filters, and other maintenance products. Come in or call us for any of your CPAP needs. Thank you and have a Happy New Year from all of us at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street, 245-4591.
Sports update coming up here in just a few seconds. Away from that, and then Word of Faith Fellowship in the studios this morning, refuting more accusation. They're telling you the truth. Just join us for that straight ahead.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Tar Heels have lost 3 straight for the first time since 2014. Marquise Reed scored 20 points, including the go-ahead three-pointer with 1:41 to go, and number 20 Clemson held on to beat North Carolina 82-78. Head coach Roy Williams.
Yeah, I got no answers, guys. Never emphasized something as much in my entire life. But you got to congratulate them. They, again, stepped up and made it.
The win snapped a 10-game losing streak to the Tar Heels, and it was just the Tigers' second victory over North Carolina since 2004. The Heels also lost in the game senior forward Theo Pinson. Just a minute 32 in, he went up to the rim, came down hard, didn't come back.
When he went down, he came down, he felt like on his hip and on the back of his left shoulder. They thought the hip would be the biggest problem, but when he got back there, the shoulder appeared to be a bigger problem, and that's the reason he didn't come back. It wasn't, he might have been able to come back, but it's still a game in January, so we decided just not to push it.
The loss of Pinson and the loss to Clemson were the second and third losses of the day for the Heels. The third was earlier on Tuesday when North Carolina announced the suspension of freshman guard Jalik Felton. The school said the suspension means he's currently not eligible to participate in any university activities. The school didn't release any further details, citing federal privacy laws, including the reason for the suspension and its duration. Felton's attorney, Kerry Sutton, said he's not been kicked out and he's not being punished for something. Roy Williams said he wasn't involved in Felton's suspension and has nothing to do with the way it's being handled. On the ice, the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1 winners over the visiting Ottawa Senators. Sebastian Aho and Victor Rask scored in the third period. Cam Ward made 29 saves in the opener of Carolina's season-long 8-game homestand. This is NCN Sports.
The Southern Farm Show returns to the NC State Fairgrounds January 31 through February 1st. It's your once-a-year opportunity to see over 400 companies with the latest equipment, supplies, and services. Compare prices, talk to experts, and make smart plans for the coming growing season. Plus, there's plenty for landscape and construction professionals. Don't miss the Lumberjack Show, sponsored by Steel. And Friday night is the Southern National Draft Horse Pull. Show admission and parking are free. Details at southernfarmshow.com.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
The Carolina Panthers say two-time All-Pro center Ryan Khalil plans to retire after the 2018 season when his contract expires. Panthers spokesman Steve Drummond confirmed the news Tuesday. Khalil became the second longtime Panther player to announce he's retiring after next season. Outside linebacker Thomas Davis told NFL.com earlier this month the 2018 season will be his last. New England Patriots star tight end Rob Gronkowski says he expects to play in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Gronkowski has been in the league's concussion protocol after taking a hit from Jacksonville's Barry Crunch in the AFC Championship game. In other NFL news, two people with direct knowledge of the trade tell the AP that Kansas City has agreed to deal quarterback Alex Smith to the Washington Redskins, a move that spells the end of Kirk Cousins' time in D.C. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Comes through Thursday night with some showers and looks like it'll be blustery and much colder by Friday. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to Word of Faith Responds, and we are so thankful that you are tuning in again. I hope you have enjoyed these programs. We have been telling you the truth about Word of Faith Fellowship now for over a month, and you have been hearing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from Word of Faith Fellowship members. We have been telling you the truth about the false accusations that you've heard in the media. Maybe it's things that you've heard in the community, rumors that have spread, and now the great news is that you're really getting to know the truth. And the other thing that we've been doing is just having you meet the people at Word of Faith Fellowship and hear about the goodness of God that has happened in their lives. And today is no exception to that, because I have two wonderful people with me today that God has done so much in their lives, and you're going to hear wonderful things about Jesus. And that's really the heart of our church and our people, is that we just love Jesus. And when you love Jesus and Jesus has touched your life, you can't do anything but share how good he is to you. And that's exactly the two people I have here with me today. I first want to introduce Sandra Norris, and she is known in Rutherford County as Miss Norris. She has taught for 27 years at East High School, and she also taught at Chesney High School. And it seems like everywhere I go, everybody says that Miss Norris was her teacher. I don't know how it happens, but it seems like she taught a huge part of Rutherford County, and everybody that had her always says that she was the best and happiest teacher. Well, I could see that because Sandra actually was a very charter member of the Word of Faith Fellowship. She was at the Word of Faith Fellowship Church when it first started in the early 80s, and is still here today and is as happy as really, if you ever are feeling down, you really just need to come see Sandra Norris, because she's probably the happiest person I know. She is always smiling, she's always bouncing, always laughing, and so if you're ever having a bad day, you need to call Sandra Norris, because she is the one who will make you feel happy. She is one happy person. And so some of you out there may have even had Miss Norris as your teacher, so, or maybe you've taught with her. So we are just excited to have her with us today, and you're going to hear wonderful things from her. Also with us is Risa Sudano, and she's known as Mrs. Sudano by her students, because Risa, like Miss Norris, has taught for many years. Actually, she taught for 27 years at Isothermal Community College. I was shocked when I heard how long that was. And even before that, she taught for many more years. She has a total of 36 years teaching at the college level. So she teaches at Isothermal Community College. She is primarily in the accounting and economics department, which means she's very smart. She won't tell you that, but I know she is. And so some of you may have gone through her college classes, and she is a great teacher. I actually, many years ago, before I went to law school, I did 2 years at Isothermal Community College. I had her for one of my classes, and I will tell you personally, she does a great job, and she loves her students. She loves everyone. And so we have you're going to so enjoy hearing from them about the wonderful things that God has done. I do want to say this, that this year, Mrs. Sudano actually won the Eves Award, which is the Best Teacher of the Year award at Isothermal Community College. So I was happy to hear she did that. So we're going to start with Sandra now. And Sandra, would you just tell us the wonderful things that God has done in your life?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, for letting us be here. I am so excited that God has opened a door for me to be here. My little Aunt Blanche always told me, you can't give someone something you don't have, and I have been given much. And I am local. I grew up here. I went to Oakland Elementary School, which was, now it's part of RS Middle. I graduated from RS Central back in 1965, and then I went on and I taught. Most of my career was at East High School, and I loved it. I loved East High School. I love my children there. I'm so grateful, and sometimes, well, a lot of times at Walmart I see them, and it's so good. You know, the one thing that I always wanted to be with those children, I wanted them to learn math, but the number one thing was I was there for them, and I loved them, and they were my children when I had them, you know, and I'm very grateful. I grew up, my father is Clyde Smith. He's a retired school principal. He was principal at Cool Springs, Alexander Mills, and Oakland and Mount Vernon. And my mother's a retired school English teacher. She taught 2 years at Ellenboro when it was a high school, and then at Oakland, and when Oakland consolidated at Carver, and when Carver consolidated, she went to RS Middle, so she was in the education for 36 and a half years. But my daddy and Jane Whaley's mother were brother and sisters. So I grew up with Jane Whaley all my life. I was like her sister, and I have been shocked at the things that I have seen, because This is firsthand. This isn't hearsay. I am here from the beginning. I was a charter member at the church, and I knew Jane all my life. And I have never seen a more loving, caring, giving person. She would never take money from anyone. She is always the one that is giving. Her lifestyle exemplifies Proverbs 31, a virtuous woman. The things that I have learned, the godly life, it's not just preaching, but it's living it. And it's not one day at a time. It's not 1 minute at a time. It's every second of our life. And it is a good life serving Jesus. It is a choice. And I am so grateful that God chose us to be flesh and blood. And if you want to know the truth, I'm at Walmart, Aldi's, I'm in and out all along. And there's one thing that the students I had can tell you, that I would write on the board Revelation 21:8. And they knew that there were no liars in heaven because it talked about murderers and all of these things. And that's the reason I'm so grateful that I am here today firsthand to tell you truth. It's not hearsay, it is what I have lived, and I'm so excited. I am helping with our Christian school now. I love it. I have Mark's daughter in there, Elizabeth. I have Sam and Jane's grandson. And what they are doing is just absolutely amazing. We just finished the first year of college. They're 14. Actually, about a year and a half ago, they took the placement test at a college, and every one of them passed the math and science, which is just a testimony to the power of God to training a child in the way they should go. And they can all play the piano very well and all another musical instrument. And I just sit there and think, you know, Mother and Daddy wasted money on me with piano lessons because I never learned, because I didn't know how to do it by God's way. And these children are such a testimony to me. They work together, they play together, they help each other. They're not in competition. They want everyone to do well. And they all just finished the first year of college at 14 years old. And it's nothing but the power of God and the power of prayer and what God can do. Don't tell me a child can't learn. All of our children go on, you know, to be, you might see them in court, but it'll be like Mark, it'll be a lawyer. You know, we do not have any problem at school with bullying. We have no drugs, no abuse. Let me tell you, I would never be a part of a cult or an abuse. My parents are there. My parents would never be a part. My parents go there. They're members. We would never. No one in my family would be a part of that, and I am appalled. And I saw one of my students, I don't know, a couple of years ago when it seems like it comes in waves, the lies, and she works at one of the local grocery stores, and she was checking me out, and she said, "Miss Norris, were you going to that church when you taught me?" And I just laughed, and I said, "Honey, I've been at that church since it started." So the children know, my children know, that I would never be a part of anything like that. And a lot of times they've told me, "Miss Norris, we know that's not true." Even the people I've worked with, we know that's not true because that's not you. That's not your lifestyle. You know, I know the Coopers. I know those children. I was with them. Precious, precious, loving, sweet, mannerly. Actually, they would bring me homemade dessert sometimes, and sometimes with their lunch they would pack extra for me. And they were so precious. And I am so just grieved at the change in what I see now, because that is not the children. They were always loved. They were never abused. I can tell you one thing about our church. In my family, I've had a lot of sickness, I mean major illnesses, you know, long hospital stays. And my church family's always been there, always. If it were the middle of the night and it was a bad report, all I had to do was to call. Jane would be there, Mark, Risa, anyone. The prayers would go up. We just spent 2 weeks in the hospital with my brother, and he's a miracle. But the support you have, the people that love you, and then you hear these lies and you say, "God, that's not us. I don't know who they're talking about. That's not us. That's not me." You know, and even I have a granddaughter that turned her back on God, Jenna. And it's been so grievous to my parents and to my family. Some of them, my family at church and my family that are not at church. But the people that are given the most, the people that you give everything to, at some point, sometimes, they want the world. I love my life. I love my life. I love what God's given me.
And you mentioned the Cooper family, and for the listeners out there who may not have been able to follow all of this, the Cooper family was a large family in our church, and many of them, they had many children. They grew up in the church. So Sandra was just sharing how she knew them for many years in our church. So what's happened for the listeners is that this family did leave our church. And they have been, some of the family members you've heard on the media saying these things about our church, especially recently this year with some of the AP articles. You've heard, if you've been following it, you've heard the Cooper name. And so that's a very large family that left our church. And Sandra was just sharing how she knew these. It was a family with many children that actually went to our Christian school, and Sandra, of course, was involved with the Christian school. She volunteers her time there and helps teach, and so she was just sharing. Sandra, did you know the Cooper family fairly well when they were here in our church, and maybe just tell a little bit how they were when they were here?
Actually, I knew the Cooper family before they moved here because years ago there was a Bible study at my Aunt Blanche, and God opened the door, and I got to teach it. It's every other week. And the Coopers, that was the first time I ever met them, was when Jeff was a baby, and Lena, and that was in the beginning.
And these are some of the children.
These are the oldest children. These are the 2 oldest of the 9 children. So I knew the Cooper family before they moved here, and I actually taught one of their first cousins. So the Cooper family was not new to me. I knew them. And that's the thing. They have so, attacked.
How were they treated when they were there? You've seen them.
Let me tell you, abuse is not allowed. At our school, I've never seen abuse, no bullying, and I have been there from day one. I'm on the board. I'm a charter member, and our school we do not have any drugs, we do not have any bullying, we do not have a resource officer. For those that are listening, a resource officer is the policeman in the school. We do not have that. Those children were loved. Those children were never abused. I have never seen a child abused at Word of Faith. I wouldn't put up with it, neither would Jane Whaley or Sam Whaley or Mark Morris or Risa. That's not our lifestyle. That is not our lifestyle. And I knew the Coopers, and I am grieved at the things that they have said because it's not true. They were loved. They were given everything. They were sweet, mild, precious children. But, I have a choice. Every second of my life, I have a choice who I'm going to serve. And I choose to serve Jesus. I choose to live a holy life. Mark preached one time on holiness. I want to be holy. I want to stand before God and hear him say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." I knew when I was at East High School, God gave me those children, and I was responsible for them. And it's no different than the children at Word of Faith. I'm on the board there. I am responsible before God. And I have seen, even another court case that was going on with the Finner case. I was there. I know truth. And I'm just appalled because my students can tell you, Revelation 21:8, there'll be no liars in heaven. And all I want to do is to be a blessing to people. I want to serve people. I want to do the will of God. I would never be a part of a cult. My family would never be a part of a cult. We would never allow anyone to be abused. That is not our lifestyle. And that's what grieves me so much. And that's why my children, my school children, if you say something ugly about me to some of them, they might be seeing Mark after that because they would not take kindly because I loved them, and I still do. And I love the children at our school, and I would never allow anyone to be abused. I would never be a part of a cult. I'm excited about what God's doing.
And that you just heard from Sandra Norris, Mrs. Norris, and if you're just tuning in, she was longtime teacher at East High School. You taught math, is that right?
I taught math.
And so many people in Rutherford County know her. I want to say this, her parents who go to our church, Clyde and Jean Smith, they are some of the greatest people I know. I love her parents, and Mr. Smith, he is just so enjoyable to talk to, and he was principal for many, many years in this county. What can you tell? Did you tell what schools that he was principal of?
He was principal at Cool Springs, which was a junior high. He was principal at Oakland, which I went to. That was in the beginning. That was way back in the 50s. And then he was at Alexander Mills, and then he ended at Mount Vernon. If you're at Mount Vernon, there's a picture of him on the wall. My daddy is 91 and full of the life of God, just quite amazing, and so is my mother. They're 88 and 91. I am blessed.
And we are too, to know them and have them part of our church. I can tell you, Mr. Smith, if any of you know him, he would never be in a church that would allow abuse or would allow any of these things that you've heard in the media going on. These are great people. So we're going to let you hear from Risa Sudano now. As I said, she is a college professor here at Isothermal Community College. Risa, tell us about your life.
Sure. Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jim, for having me here. And I'm really excited to be able to share my story. And like Mark has said, I've worked at Isothermal for 27 years. I've worked as an instructor in business science area. And but that's not all I do. I do whatever they ask, whatever they need, wherever I see a need. Actually, our high school liaison, CCP liaison, got a new job a couple of years ago, and I volunteered as well as two other teachers, Sarah Killigo and Tiffany Cooper, and we love doing CCP, and I'm over the private schools, charter schools, and homeschool students. I help to sign them up for college classes while they're still in high school. And whatever I do, I love doing it. I love helping those students, helping the faculty, teaching them how to create their online classes, and if they're having trouble. I'm also a Moodle administrator at the college, and it's because I love Jesus, you know, and it's like what you said, what I have is what I can give to other people. And that's the example that's been shown to me at church. You know, from the day I first got to Word of Faith, and I saw these ministers are selfless. They lay down their lives for me, for my family, for people in the community, you know, all the time. And that was the example that was laid down for me, to have a divine yes, whatever God has for me. I love it, and I love doing it. And I'm not a Rutherford County, you know, I was not born and raised in Rutherford County. I came from Minnesota. And actually, I went to the Catholic Church for most of my growing up years. And actually, I was in 8th grade before I ever heard about being born again. And John 3:16, that scripture was shared to me when I was in 8th grade. And actually, the person said to me, you know, it's not by going to church every Sunday that you're going to get to heaven. And that actually, that's why I'm going to church. It's because I want to go to heaven. And they talked about being born again, and it planted a seed in my heart that I need something. I'm missing something. There's something lacking in my life. And I started to reach out for God and ask God to help me. And there were times in my life I lost 4 close friends in a car accident. And then you go off to college, and what am I going to major in? What am I going to do? All these major life decisions. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. And I would say, God, what do I need to do? And he was so faithful, because he would bring people in my life or direct me, even though I didn't even know him. I really didn't know him. I really did what was right in my own eyes. You know, they talk about that in Judges. They went about doing what was right in their own eyes, and things got messed up all the time, and the judgment of God came on them all the time. You know, and that's kind of how my life was. And then my sister, and her husband actually moved to Rutherford County to go to Bible school. And I would come out and visit her because I was working in Minnesota, and I'd go to the church when I was here.
This is Word of Faith Fellowship.
This is Word of Faith Fellowship. Thank you. And I'd go back to Minnesota, and this is so real to me. I was happy doing what I was doing in Minnesota, and I lived by myself, had a new car, had really anything I wanted. I had a good job, made good money, and I went to bed one Friday night. I woke up Saturday morning, and all of a sudden it was like, is this all that life is about? Is this all I'm going to do is live my life, go to work, get old, and then die? Is this everything? And all of a sudden there was a cry in my heart. Oh God, I got to know you. I've got to know you. And out of that place, I went to a seminar at Word of Faith Fellowship. And before I went, I remember telling my mom, Mom, I have a head knowledge of who Jesus is, but I read this Bible like I read a textbook, and I don't really understand it. And being a teacher, I know when I can teach something, and I have an understanding, and I can impart it to somebody. And I know when I am just reading the book, and I have the answer key, but I really don't get what it's saying. And that's what it was like when I would read the Bible. It was like, I know what those words are saying, but I don't understand them. When I went to that seminar and I heard preaching from Jane and the other ministers, I'm telling you, it was so simple. And it was so imparted in my heart. And I got thirsty. I wanted to come. I wanted to go. And that's when I knew I was going to move to Rutherford County. I didn't care where I was going to work. I was just going to move to Rutherford County and go to Bible school. And I actually took a leave of absence. I was working in a community college in Minnesota. I took a leave of absence knowing full well I would never be going back there. And I never have. And I came to Bible school and I heard the preaching, and it was simple. And it was talking about having a relationship with Jesus, having a personal relationship with Jesus. Like with Sandra and Mark, if I never talk to you, if I never spend time with you, how can I have a relationship with you? Well, I was going through life saying I knew Jesus, but I never spent time with him. I never, cried out to him and prayed with my whole heart and desired, and I started to do that. And I was working part-time at Isothermal at that time when I first got here, and I was teaching intermediate accounting. I failed the final of intermediate accounting in college. I changed my major over that class. And that was the first class I taught at Isothermal Community College. I cried out to God, God, help me to teach this class. And it was amazing because I understood it. I could explain it. This was a class that I didn't fail the class, but I failed the final. And I saw miracles in my life, in my heart. I got married at Word of Faith Fellowship to a wonderful husband, Adam. We have 2 special blessings from heaven for us, Austin and Ethan. Austin's 13, Ethan is 12. They're both in the Christian school. And during this time, I have also been in the Christian school. I taught computers in the Christian school. I walked into any classroom in the Christian school at any time, any point of day. I taught computers, or I just walked into the class to see what everybody was doing. Nobody was ever abused. Nobody was ever abused. They were told to cry out to Jesus if they didn't understand how to do something. I would tell them, you're going to learn how to do the keyboard without looking at those keys. Just ask Jesus to help you. And they did. And they would. And they'd learn how to do things. And what's really sad about these stories and everything that's been in the news saying that they're abused at the church, at the Christian school, and that it's a cult. One of the people that has been spreading these lies and slander all over the place is my very own niece, Micah Cooper. She married Benjamin Cooper, one of the Cooper children. And I lived with Micah for much of my life while I've been here in Rutherford County. And my house is next door to my sister's house. So when I didn't live there, I lived next door. I know Micah. I mean, I took care of Micah. I babysat Micah. I was in the Christian school with Micah. She was not abused at all. She was a happy child. If you knew Micah, she had a smile from this ear to this ear. All nice white straight teeth, too. I mean, she smiled big all the time. And she loved what she did. She loved going to the Christian school. She loved going to college. You know, when she and Benjamin got married, and they felt like it was the will of God for them to go to law school, and they excelled in what they did. Abused children do not get on the dean's list, do not get awards, are not able to function in classes. Everyone that would go on to isothermal or other colleges, they'd take public speaking. They'd have to stand up and give a speech, and they did excellent. And they would look you eye to eye. Abused children don't look you eye to eye. I've been in public education for 36 years. Abused children don't function well in an educational setting. There's always a lot of support that has to go forth from administration, from tutors, from whatever, in order to help children that are abused. Our children never had that. They were excellent students. They did well in all their classes.
And you've seen, you mentioned that you volunteer at the Word of Faith Christian School when you're not at isothermal, and of course you have your two boys there.
Yes.
Have you seen the students that you've worked with for now many, many years go on to higher education, and how do they do? You mentioned your niece and then her husband, Benjamin, who were at the church before. How do other students do? Have you seen them go on to college?
Oh,
and
yes.
How do they do in college from the Word of Faith Christian School?
Some of the first ones that I worked with at the Christian school are Jonathan Lowry. I believe he spoke here too. He's a dentist. And John Anthony is a student going for pharmacy. You know, they're doing excellent in school. Those are some of the earlier ones, but there's been many, many, many students, lawyers, accountants, CPAs. One of the youngest CPAs in the state of North Carolina came out of our Christian school. I mean, an excellent student. He took accounting with me. He did excellent, and he went on to Gardner-Webb. Actually two, Daniel and Samuel Staten, and they work as CPAs in the county. They do excellent work, excellent job.
And we just have a couple minutes left, sure. Risa. Would you just tell, you mentioned that your niece was in the church, married into this family that has left the church and said a lot of things. You knew the family, the Cooper family. The listeners, you just, in 1 minute, would you tell the listeners the truth about our church, if you can just wrap it up, what God's done in your life, what you've seen? You've heard all these lies out there. If you could just take a minute just to sum up what you want the listeners to know about the Word of Faith Fellowship.
Okay. The Word of Faith Fellowship and going to that church has worked salvation in my life. I'm a totally different person than I used to be. People that I work with know the truth. People that I work with will come and ask questions, and like you, Sandra, like, really? Is this really true, Risa? And they'll get the newspaper out and read. Now they're saying this. That's not you. You don't do things like that. And I said, because that's not true. Nobody in my church does things like that. Those aren't the true things.
That's very good. And thank you so much, Risa Sudano and Sandra Norse, you've heard today, and another great program. And I always enjoy talking with them, and that was so good what they shared. So we're wrapping up now. I want to tell you real fast, go to our website, and we have some great news, because we now have all of these radio programs that we've been doing on WCAB on our website. You will actually see us. We are on video for most of them. There's a couple that are audio that we're working on, but most of them, and actually I think we're now 19 programs, we have all of them on our website. So go to our website at wordoffaithfellowship.org, and you will see a link to WFF radio program, okay, WFF radio program, and you can go back and listen to all of these programs that we've done if you've missed some. So thank you again, and have a wonderful day. We're going to be back here Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thank you.
The president said an infrastructure bill must also streamline permits and approvals, bringing the timeline down to perhaps just 1 year. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Back to court today in Michigan for the gymnastics doctor convicted of abusing young athletes.
Dr. Larry Nasser will be sentenced in Eaton County, Michigan on 3 sexual assault charges related to patients he treated at the Twist Stars Gymnastics Club. More than 50 young women and girls are expected to deliver impact statements in a hearing that could last days. The minimum sentence in this case, once again, 25 to 40 years in prison. It comes a week following his 40 to 175-year sentence in Ingham County. Ryan Burrow, ABC News.
This morning.